Stardew Valley, a game about the joys of farming, friendship, fighting, fishing, and whatever that one guy's deal is. Like, actually, I don't know. I've never made it past year one. I don't know who this guy is, but he kind of scares me. But nonetheless, Stardew Valley is a game that pays homage to its primary source of inspiration, Story of Seasons, or as it's better known, Harvest Moon. Isn't that just nice? But what if I told you that was actually a lie? What if there was another game that Stardew Valley really drew its inspiration from? An old mobile game cloaked in secrets, controversy, and full of birds. No, not that bird-themed mobile game from your childhood. Not that one either. I'm talking about the 2013 breakout hit, Flappybird. You might be thinking to yourself, how does this random bargain bin VTuber plan to convince me that Stardew Valley, a lovely game, a wonderful expansive experience, is actually just a massive ripoff of the 5 seconds and you've seen it all game, Flappybird? Well, dear viewer, it's rather simple. Tell me what this sounds like to you. A minigame where your objective is to guide a falling object to a target. Holding down the input button causes the object to raise higher, while letting go causes it to fall. Now, obviously, we both know exactly what I'm talking about. Flappybird. Duh, are you not getting the point? Are you not seeing the trend here? So to clarify, if you aren't yet understanding what I'm putting down here, I am saying that Stardew Valley's fishing mechanic is literally the exact same game as Flappybird. I don't mean shares inspiration or has similarities. I mean that I could literally code up Flappybird and then swap out some assets and a few lines of code here and there, if that even, and turn it into Stardew Valley's exact fishing mechanic. If you don't believe me, that's too bad because I've already done it and I'm going to show you how right now. Okay, so first things first, we're going to need a bird and we're going to need to give the bird gravity. Next, we'll get rid of some unused starter code and also add spacebar as a control for jumping. We're also going to want to add a ceiling so you can't jump out of bounds. From there, I'm going to go ahead and touch up, add a little bit of an animation to our bird, as well as a nice clean looking spacebar button on screen. Okay, so honestly at this point it looks really nice. All we have left to do is add a floor so you can take damage. We add a few pipes that come at the player, and then we pretty much have Flappybird. It's not actually too hard to make. Obviously a few value changes here and there would be in place if you wanted to make this your final playable game. However, that is not our goal. Our actual goal is to take this and turn it into Stardew Valley fishing. So let's go ahead and do that. So actually making this Flappybird game into a fishing game, we need to take a step back and think about what needs to be done. So first, as you'll see on screen right now, I went ahead and made a couple of art assets that are going to be crucial. So like a fish, a bar, a background, for all the assets you see in Stardew Valley's fishing minigame. So the next thing, now that we have these assets, is going to be replacing previous elements with their new sprite art. So for example, the bird is going to become the green bar. Our score number is going to become a progress bar that fills off to the side. And then finally, the pipes are going to become the fish, or rather the space in between the pipes is now the fish. With that out of the way, the next step is going to be to move the ceiling down and change the floor into a solid object instead of having it trigger the game over screen when passed through. With that done, we'll also want to adjust one line of code so that the pipe goes up while holding down the spacebar instead of doing quick little taps. Next, we will add in our fish and convert the score counter into a progress bar. And with those two features implemented, all that's left is for me to put way too much time into creating a behavior pattern for the fish. And just like that, we have recycled a ton of code and other game dev effort into making Flappybird into a Stardew Valley fishing-like mechanic. Okay, so funny game dev meme aside, obviously Stardew Valley didn't actually rip off Flappybird. If that's the case though, and I knew that all along, then why even make this video, you may be asking yourself? And that's a simple answer. It's to make good clickbait. However, that said, I hope this goofy clickbait game dev video will inspire you to start making your own goofy projects. For anyone watching this who's always wanted to get into game dev, I'd like to quickly reiterate what I'm sure you've heard thousands of times by now. But the best way to do so, to get into game dev, is to make games. Make silly games, broken games, sad games, or bad games. It doesn't matter what you're making, because every time you make something new, you're going to improve your skills and you're going to get better. And eventually, you'll probably be a lot happier with where you're at. One of my favorite game dev, exercises to sort of improve my skills, though, is to do what I've done in this video. I'll take a look at a simple mechanic in a game I enjoy, so like Stardew Valley fishing, Flappybird, or any other little game you might think of. Maybe it's Club Penguin fishing, I don't know. But if you try to remake that game mechanic from just looking at it and make it in your own style, you'll find that you improve a lot along the way. And you'll find a lot of new techniques and a lot of new skills that you never would have learned otherwise. But anyways, with all that said, if you'd like to try out the game that I made for this video, I have it posted on itch.io. Link for that will be found in the description. If you guys want a more polished and fleshed out version of that, which I don't know, but let me know in the comments and I can maybe look into doing that. Also, if you like this new style of video I'm doing with the editing and the type of content, what are you doing? Anyway, like I was saying, sorry, my rabbit tried to eat a metal bar. If you like this type of content, give this video a like, let me know, and I'll keep doing this sort of thing. And join the Game Nerds Discord, link in the description for that as well, to keep up to date with all my latest content. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you nerds in the next one.